Hi, I'm Euge Valovirta, and this one is about the original Marshall vintage speaker versus Celestion vintage 30. Are there any differences, and if there are, what they are, and so on. Both of these speakers are pretty much brand new. The Celestion vintage 30 has been on my cab for a couple of months. I've been using it on a few productions, few albums that I've produced and recorded, and on my YouTube videos. This is, or at least it's supposed to be, brand new according to the seller that I bought this from. So, made in UK, made in China. The cabinet is a Marshall 1960BX that comes with greenbacks. I obviously just removed 2 greenbacks, so now the Celestion Chinese-made V30 is here, and the Marshall, made by Celestion vintage speaker, is here. Next I'm gonna take this to my ISO room and mic both speakers with Shure SM57. Alright, so let's see how they compare. I'm gonna use one of my signature ESPs, this one with EMG 8185 pickups, into my pedal board where I'm gonna switch between 3 amplifiers. Marshall JCM800 203 from 1985 with EL34s, Peavey 5150 boosted with GS808. Well, yeah, the Marshall, I'm gonna boost that with SD1, surprisingly. And then the third amp is a Mark V, Mesa Boogie Mark V on a Mark II C+ mode, nothing in front, so just the amp. So let's start with the Marshall. I'm just gonna play some, you know, metal stuff, whatever. Okay, that was the Celestion V30. Now to Marshall. Alright, the Celestion V30 is more aggressive, the low end is a little bit tighter, there's a bit more upper mids, it's really punchy, and although I can see the levels are exactly the same, it sounds a bit louder because of the upper mid, you know, presence. Marshall vintage, warmer, the low end is a bit fuller, and there's not as much of those that upper mid aggressive presence. Alright? Cool. Then let's switch to 5150 boosted with GS808. So yeah, that was the 800 boosted with SD1. Okay, let's see. Celestion, that was the Celestion, now Marshall. with 5150, I like the Celestion, the Johnny's one more. The 5150 is kind of dark amp, so I feel the Marshall Vintage was a little bit too vintage, too soft, too nice. I mean, these are just personal opinions, but I kind of like that tone to be aggressive, especially when I'm using 5150. So yeah, the Celestion V30, I felt and to me sounded more aggressive, better. Okay, Boogie. So first now the Marshall Vintage. Let's actually do some drop D, drop C. So this is in standard D, so now it's drop C. Now. Celestion. Well, this one with the Mark II, I like both. The Celestion is a bit more aggressive, and the Marshall was a little bit darker and smoother. Okay, then let's switch back to the 800. And let's play some kind of lead stuff. Okay, that was the Celestion. Marshall. Celestion. Okay, with the neck pickup, at least the Celestion is the upper mid more pronounced, more clear. That was the Vintage, a little bit Zach Wild thing. Conclusion. The Celestion V30, the Chinese made, it's more aggressive, a bit tighter on the low end, more upper mids, that kind of brings the aggression, the aggressiveness. The Marshall Vintage 30 is quite a bit more vintage, smoother, there's a bit more low end, there's not any kind of upper mid bump. So which one is better? That's a obviously matter of personal preferences and what you're looking for. Let's say if I'm looking for an aggressive metal tone, that really cuts through the mids, that really cuts through the mix, I would definitely go with the Chinese made Celestion V30. It was quite a bit more aggressive. If I would go for a more smoother, a bit fatter tone, not so aggressive, I would definitely go with the Marshall Vintage 30. And now when I have both, it's really cool, because now I can, when I'm recording, I can, you know, switch between to see which one works better for any given song, any given production, even any given part or lead. And then because I also have the greenbacks, that's also another different option. No one is better than the other. They're just different. Actually, quite a bit different. More different than I remembered, because I've owned the Marshall Vintage cab, which comes with those Marshall Vintage 30s. I recorded with oversized Mesa with V30s, with Engel with V30s, because they're all a little bit different. The Marshall Vintage is the original that Celestion started to make to Marshall in the 80s. Then it became so popular that they started to release it. You know, you can buy it separately, but they changed it a bit. And I guess they changed it even after that, after 90s or something. And then on the Mesa cabs, the Celestion V30s are the ones, those Celestion V30s before Celestion made the change. So my Celestion V30, it's brand new. I bought it a few months ago, like I said. So it's a little bit different than the Celestion V30, what Mesa Boogie uses, because Celestion still makes those for Mesa Boogie. And the Marshall, if I've understood correct, this has remained the same since 80s. Vintage, warm, nice mid-range, kind of full sounding speaker. So basically there's 3 different vintage 30s, and like you heard, at least these 2, they sound quite a bit different. And then there's the 8 ohms versions, these are 16 ohm versions, those differs too. And then if you take 2 exactly the same speakers, because I had the greenbacks on my cabinet, 4 greenbacks, 2 were really a lot like similar, and the 2 were a little bit tiny amount of darker. So exactly the same speakers made in UK, but small differences. So there's always a difference when there's human element involved. But yeah, anyway, both are great speakers. Chinese made Celestion V30, bit more aggressive, bit more tighter low end. Marshall Vintage, more fuller, more smoother, more vintage. Hey, hopefully you found this interesting and informative. Until next time, take care, all the best. Bye.